right, in some breaking inputs coming in with regards to Pakistan, we are now learning that India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has asserted that cross-border terrorism cannot become a basis to start a discussion with Pakistan. Jaishankar has said, and I quote, "We cannot allow terrorism to become normal. We cannot allow it to become the basis of discussion with Pakistan. It is not possible to have normal relations with Pakistan's policy of cross-border terrorism." With regards to relations with China, the minister said that China has been a difficult swing. It's a big neighbor, but at the end of the day, any relations have to be based on a high degree of mutuality. Let's also listen into what India's External Affairs Minister has to say.
We cannot allow terrorism to be normalized. We cannot allow that to become the basis for getting us into discussions with Pakistan. So I don't think to me, it's a fairly common sense proposition. In fact, if anything, I'm still a little perplexed by why we had not arrived at this position earlier. But we have arrived at it now. And the issue really is that until there is departure from, I would say, an abrogation of this policy of cross-border terrorism. Clearly, it is not possible to have, the normal relationship. The difficult one on the big stage has obviously been China, and I would say we recognize it's a neighbor, it's a big neighbor, today a very significant economy and significant power. But at the end of the day, any relationship has to be based on a high degree of mutuality. There has to be a respect for each other's interests, sensitivity for each other's interests, and there has to be an adherence to agreements which were reached between us. And it is that departure from what was agreed between us, which is today at the heart of the difficult phase that we are passing through with China. And the bottom line there is, at the end of the day, the state of the border will determine the state of the relationship, and the state of the border today is still abnormal.
All right, for more details, let's quickly go across to Siddhant, who's joining me on the phone line. Siddhant, let's try and place the terrorism emanating from Pakistan into perspective when it comes to India's stance. Remember, just days ago, we've seen Indo-US joint statement also calling out the terrorism coming in from Pakistan, something to which Pakistan also protested. And perhaps that in itself was a validation, a prior validation perhaps, of what the External Affairs Minister is saying today.
Well, yes. And time and again, the neutral voices in Pakistan, or perhaps, those who think that both countries should have some kind of a dialogue, or both countries should at least start normalizing relationship. This message is particularly for them, because they need to understand that the foreign policy of Pakistan is not what the government decides. The foreign policy of Pakistan is what the deep state decides. And in fact, this is the reason that, the kind of work India is doing on the front of terrorism, perhaps uniting every country and getting the designated terrorist sanction from United Nations. And in fact, that is also being blocked deliberately by Pakistan with the help of China each time around India moves joint proposal with the United States of America. So those who in Pakistan, those who think that India should start normalizing relationship, they need to understand that terrorism and talks cannot go at the same time. Also, at times the people in Pakistan use soft powers like cricket to, perhaps normalize relationships. It is for them also to understand that on the basis of that discussion cannot be allowed on the basis of terrorism, and that is perhaps message which today
right.
S. Jaishankar has given to Pakistan while speaking at an event.
All right, many thanks to you, Siddhant, for bringing in all those inputs.